everyone, welcome to my presentation. Today, we are diving into a fascinating topic in sociolinguistics, key social factors in language use. Have you ever wondered why people from different social classes, genders, or age groups speak differently? Well, in this video, we'll explore three key social factors: social class, age, and gender. So, stay tuned and let's uncover the fascinating connection between language and society together. Here's the explanation about social class, the age, and gender. Let's break down one by one. Social class refers to a person's position with a societal hierarchy determined by economic status and social factors. And the next factor is the age. The age plays a significant role in shaping language use as each generation develops its own vocabulary and expressions. Last but not least, gender as a social construct tied to roles and identities of masculinity and femininity. Language and social class are strongly connected. The way we speak, our accent, dialect, or even the words we choose can show our position in society. People from different social classes often have distinct ways of speaking, which reflect their background. Here's an example of how language reflects social class. In the UK, accents can signal a person's socioeconomic background. The upper class often uses British Received Pronunciation accent, which sounds formal and is associated with prestige. Meanwhile, the working class might use a Cockney accent, commonly heard in East London, which has its own unique pronunciation and slang.
Now, if you two don't mind, I'm going to bed before either of you come up with another clever idea to get us killed, or worse, expelled.
What are you talking like that for? I'm going down south, you numpty.
Now let's move on to language and age. In sociolinguistics, the relationship between language and age examines how a person's age influences their language use. It emphasizes that language habits evolve over a lifetime and that distinct age groups exhibit unique linguistic behaviors. Now let's see an example why age significantly shapes communication styles. Different generations often have their own ways of expressing the same idea. For example, teenagers today might say, "No way, that's so cringe," to describe something embarrassing. On the other hand, older generations might say, "I can't believe it, that's so embarrassing," using a more traditional way of speaking. Regarding language and age, the journal emphasizes how teenagers often innovate with slang, creating distinct linguistic markers that differentiate their speech from other age groups. Here's how the findings connect with language variation by age. The diagram highlights the differences in language use across age groups, with a focus on teenagers and their unique contributions to language innovation. Teenagers also adapt quickly to trends, adopting new slang from social media, memes, and pop culture. Their preference for informal and playful expressions. In contrast, adults tend to use more conventional and structured language, often avoiding slang to maintain clarity. This comparison shows how language evolves differently depending on age, reflecting the distinct social and cultural roles of each group. Frequency of slang usage among 96 students. This pie chart that perfectly illustrates one of the key factors in sociolinguistics, the relationship between language and age. This shows us how age groups, specifically students, have distinct patterns in their language use. Looking at these 96 students, we can see a clear preference for slang usage that's characteristic of younger age groups. The data shows that 47.9% of students use slang often, while 33.2% use it very often. This combined 81.1% of frequent slang users reflects how younger generations tend to be linguistic innovators. Last but not least, let's discuss language and sex. Language and sex examines how gender differences influence language use in social interactions. This area of study explores the distinct ways men and women communicate, including their word choices, speaking styles, and speech patterns. Lakoff in 1975 in Language and Women's Place suggests that women often use softer, more indirect, and polite forms of language. In contrast, men are typically more assertive, employ direct language, and display competitiveness in their communication styles. In the first speech bubble, we see more elaborate and emotionally expressive language. "Oh, that's such a lovely dress. Where did you get it?" This example demonstrates features often associated with feminine speech patterns, including the use of intensive adjectives such lovely, more emotionally expressive language, more elaborate complement structures, and the inclusion of discourse markers "oh." In contrast, the second speech bubble shows "nice shirt, man. Where'd you buy it?" This represents typical masculine speech patterns. More direct and concise language, simpler complement structures, the use of informal address terms, more straightforward questioning. This comparison helps us understand how gender can influence language choices in everyday conversation. However, it's important to note that these are general tendencies rather than absolute rules. An individual speech pattern can vary greatly regardless of gender. Differences in language use between men and women are also often related to their social roles. For example, in social life, women may tend to be more polite because social norms require them to act that way. On the other hand, men are often encouraged to be more competitive and show dominance in conversations, especially in public places. As we wrap up our exploration of key sociolinguistic factors, let's bring together what we have learned about these fascinating influences on language use. We have discovered that language isn't just about words, it's a complex tapestry woven from social class, age, and gender dynamics. Think about social class. It's like an invisible force shaping not just what we say, but how we say it. From vocabulary choices to accent variations, our economic and social standing leaves distinct linguistic fingerprints in our daily communication. When it comes to age, we've seen through our pie chart data how younger generations often lead the charge in language innovation. It's amazing how each generation adds its own colors to our linguistic palette, contributing to the constant evolution of language. And remember our example of gender differences in speech pattern? These variations in communication styles, from elaborate compliments to direct statements, show us how deeply our social roles and expectations can influence our language choices. Together, these factors paint a picture of how our language reflects who we are, where we come from, and how we relate to others in society. They remind us that language is truly a living, breathing part of human experience, constantly shaped by the diverse way we interact and express ourselves. Understanding these factors doesn't just help us study language, it helps us to better understand each other and the beautiful complexity of human communication. So here's our conclusion point by point. The first one, social class, reflects economic and social hierarchy, influences vocabulary accent, and language style, indicates different social backgrounds. And age affects generational differences in words and expressions, contributes to language change over time, and influences adoption of new language form. And last, gender impacts speech patterns and conversation styles, leads to differences in politeness and collaborative communication, and reflects social roles and expectations. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch my presentation. I truly hope it sparked your curiosity and gave you a deeper appreciation for how language shapes our lives and connects us to one another. It's amazing to think about how something as everyday as the way we speak can hold such rich layers of meaning and identity. Let's continue exploring and celebrating the beauty of human communication. Once again, thank you so much for your time and attention.